What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and some more Hail Caesar faction reviews here as we move along. Now we're taking a look at the Anglo Saxons today. So we're slowly getting a little bit further along in the timeline here, roughly late 9th through mid 11th centuries AD. So looking up things like Ethelred, Alfred the Great, some of these battles here, Hastings, of course, gives you an idea on some of the things that this list would be relevant for. So this is an interesting one too. So we have cavalry, but we're only allowed up to 10% of the force to have that. So this is going to be an infantry dominated list, 75% or more, and you could go all 100% if you wanted to. Now, of the infantry, the Ciorals, or Ciorals, I'm not sure what the pronunciation is on them, but have to be at least 50% of the infantry. Or mixed Then and Cioral units. So we'll see that below. So got a couple things going on here as well. So get the hair out of the way. So the divisions has an interesting feature here where you have to also sort of be more careful on the infantry selection. So the divisions have to be 4+ units like normal, unless they're cavalry. So basically we get like a cavalry division, or if they're Vikings, right? So there's a lot of little things to consider with this list. So with this one, we're just going to read out. So it has to contain at least 4 units, excluding skirmishers, unless they comprise cavalry only or are mercenary Vikings. Division consisting entirely of cavalry can be any size as long as it includes all the cavalry in the army. Mercenary Viking unit must form a division on its own, complete with integral commander. This division does not count for purposes of establishing defeat. All divisions have to be led by a commander. And then skirmishers here is a little bit less than we've seen in recent lists, so only 25% per division. So let's jump in. There's, again, lots of little things going on here and a fair few bits of access to some special rules that do make some of these infantry units pretty damn powerful. So first up, we have heavy infantry huscarls. We only get 1 unit, so it's kind of like our super elite unit. And we have an upgrade path here, actually 2 of them. We can give them long spears and double-handed axes. So whichever way we want to go with, you have some interesting points costs here. Now the interesting bit here is that the spear upgrade is going to net you 6 points. But if you go with the double-handed axes, it's only a single point. So let's figure out what's going on here. So again, we just get our 1 unit. There's 36 points. Base special abilities here. We have Stubborn, Elite, Tough Fighters, and Valiant. So already up there as far as just, again, high-quality infantry unit. Now, if we go the long spear route, we basically add phalanx. So we're paying 6 points for phalanx, but that's not terrible. And especially because we haven't seen phalanx in a long time after we've gotten out of sort of the classical world, the ancients world. So that's interesting to see that make a comeback there. Now, if we go the double-handed axes route, we do actually bump clash up by 1. Drops our short range ability a little bit. And here we again just have the first set of abilities. So Stubborn, Elite, Tough Fighters, and Valiant. So again, if we only get the 1 unit, we might as well take it and spend what we can spend on it, because they're just going to be badass and really should do a lot of work in the game if we use them properly. We then have something similar, and that is the Viking mercenaries. So 1 unit, 30 points. 7s here, again, typical heavy infantry stuff. These guys are stubborn and tough fighters, still very good. If we wanted to bump them down to a small unit, we actually could. So interesting choice there. So having a small unit, that's still pretty punchy. We also then have heavy infantry thens, and we could upgrade them to long spears, which is another access to phalanx. But we're paying 6 points for that, so just keep that in mind. Then we get into some of the, not necessarily lesser units, but lighter units. So medium infantry Ciorals is just our bog standard medium infantry. We have light infantry Gebers with spears and or javelins. Pretty solid there for 20 points. Skirmisher package, pretty standard stuff here. Javelins, 11 pointers. Bows, we only get 1, so not going to be much in the way of long range in this list. But 12 points, so well worth including that. What else we got? Slings, another long range option. So basically we're going to have 2 units of long range, and that's it. So just spend the points on it. So, but again, 12 points a piece on those. And then our cavalry is pretty basic. Medium cavalry mounted thens as small units. So again, given the restrictions in the way this list works, we might as well have that 1 all cavalry division and go with that. but 19 points for the unit. But again, just medium cavalry, so they can do a little bit of work, but let's not expect more than really we should from them. So as we can see, these guys are geared really around the infantry and doing a lot of work. And with that, just making as much use of your heavy and medium infantry as you can. And depending on how you want to take some of the more fancy units here, like your Viking content, then that will obviously affect how the list is built. But certainly no reason to leave the Huscarls at home. They are pretty damn good, so you take that one unit. So it's an interesting list, against geared towards a couple of units towards the top as far as the special abilities go. It would be interesting to see, just points-wise, how much to invest in like the heavy infantry thens, and then they're just fine as is, but seeing how many units could work with phalanx and seeing just how that plays out. So you got a couple different options here. It's an interesting list. Certainly would be interesting to try out versus some contemporaries that we've seen here recently, and we'll see in the next few videos as well. But and last but not least, of course, so we still have that backed up with our Leadership 8 standard stuff here. Would have been interesting maybe to see something like Alfred the Great as an upgrade to maybe get that elusive Leadership 9, but it's all right. Leadership 8 is perfectly fine. So again, a list that's going to be geared more towards combat, certainly. Long range is minimal, so you will get some occasional use out of it, but really the heavy lifting is going to have to be done by your infantry blocks. So let us know what you guys think of the Anglo Saxons, at least how they're presented here, and how you would focus on building the list. Obviously, again, it's going to be infantry dominated. It's just what you do with those extra little pieces here that adds the flavor. So let us know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe. We'll have more Hail Caesar for you soon. Take care.